So if you're somebody that sees the best in people, I want you to know this is not a bad thing, and it's not inherently an unsafe way to see the world. We do need to be conscious of a few things. That one, this positive projection that we're having on somebody, the best, deepest, truest version of them that we're seeing, which is 100% a potential reality. It is just that. It is a potential. If everybody held us to our past embodiments, behaviors, mistakes, there would be no space for us to embody something different. So by having this positive projection, by seeing the best in people, you actually are holding space for them to be healed by your presence, by your positive expectation of them, and step into a deeper embodiment of who they really are. Love. What we need to be careful of is that these positive projections can also be harmful. They can also hurt ourselves and other people. And that's when we attach to them. That's when we attach to there actually being an expectation that they do embody that potential version of themselves. I don't know if you've ever fallen from a pedestal that you didn't place yourself on. It is not nice. It removes the space to be seen in our humanness. So there's this element of we're holding space to see who they are. That's all people can do, is show you who they are. We're holding space for them, excuse me, to potentially embody this deeper version of themselves. But we also need to recognize and own it as our own projection. So if we're owning it as our own projection, we're holding space for that positive reality to potentially be validated for us. We're giving this energetic signal to the world that I trust you. I trust that you're going to be a safe place. I trust that there are good people, well-intentioned people in the world. And yeah, like whatever it is in your reality right now, we need to own it as our own, see it as a potential, and then hold space for the reality that's actually being presented to us. These positive projections, as I said, can be harmful to the other when we're saying, I expected you to be this person and you showed me that you're not. And we get hurt by our own attachment to that projection. That's the thing that we need to own. Hold space for it to potentially be a reality, but not attached to it as the truth. Time will show you. And it can be harmful for us because it damages our self-esteem. It warps this idea that we're keeping ourselves safe, that we can meet our own needs, and that we're responding to an accurate and appropriate reality that's in front of us. I don't know if appropriate is the right word, but an accurate, like our eyes are open, our vision is clear. Our self-esteem is damaged by being attached to this potential that hasn't actually been shown for us. So there's a few polarities to realize, and you don't worry, you will be shown through contrast, through the experience of you having this high view of people, the deep view of who they could be, who they could potentially embody, which is absolutely a truth. But it might not be who they're showing up as in this reality right now. And that's okay. They need to be respected. They're not meant to be anywhere else. Nobody needs saving. Nobody needs fixing. It's of a deep respect that you honor where they show you they are. I've had avoidant partners where I've really deeply attached to this positive projection, to who I see they could be. And I remember having conversations saying, look, this is what I need, and I'm really hurting, I'm really struggling, and all of these things. And what I was being told, being stared dead in the eye, and this man saying to me, I don't know what you need. And I was saying, but I'm telling you what I need. And I know you can do this. And I know that you can show up for me in this way. And I was actually operating purely from this attachment to the idea of him. And I was not respecting where he was in his reality right now, where he was in his emotional body, in his capacity, because he was telling me, I can't see you. I can't hear you. And my self-esteem, my self-worth was damaged by my own attachment to a story where he was telling me, I can't hear you, I can't see you, and I can't give you what you need. I don't have the tools to give you what you need. And the most respectful thing I could have done for him and for myself was to go, okay, I respect that. And I needed that experience to show me the damage that could be done through attaching to the version of somebody that you want and not listening to the version that's in front of you. The version of them that isn't aligning with your positive projection isn't wrong. They're perfectly where they're meant to be. All you need to do is honor yourself. So this is how these positive projections can be harmful for another person, and they can be harmful for yourself. It's disrespectful for both parties when we have this imbalanced attachment to this idea. But it's actually very healthy to see the best in people, to allow them space. It's a very healing energy for people, especially where they're transitioning, when they're releasing or interacting with wounds, traits, behaviors that they're dissolving. They're wanting to step into a deeper embodiment of themselves. Through having that positive projection, through seeing the best in people, you actually hold space for them to start stepping into that. But it doesn't mean that we become blind to the behaviors, to the capacity that is showing up in the present moment. If you're someone who's deeply sensitive, empathetic, the positive projection that you see in people, the highest, deepest version of them, the deepest version of them that you're seeing is 100% a potential reality. You're actually seeing, I believe, a very clear, true version of them. And it might be that I'll give you another example of an ex-partner who was, when we see positive projections, when we see like the deepest versions of people, we're actually not seeing them through the lens of the trauma that they've been through. We're holding space for them to step into something different, like I said. So this man, to me, was a very, very good man. And I remember saying to him one day, you're a really good man. And his eyes welled up. And he said, I've been working towards that. I've been trying to become that for such a long time, and I never considered how it would feel to hear it. So through my view of him, not through this skeptical lens of who are you? What have you been through? What have you done in the past? I don't care about your past. I care about meeting you in this present moment. And in that present moment, he was a good man. And in me reflecting that back to him was incredibly healing. It was a validation of this space that he was stepping into. So, if you see the best in people, keep doing so. You are a healing presence for the world. Know that these positive projections, if we attach to them as truth, if we project them as an expectation onto other people, they will likely be damaging to our own self-esteem. It is disrespectful to ourselves and to the other, and it can be very hurtful to the other person. To fall from a pedestal you haven't placed yourself on, if that will resonate with people, I know it will. I've been there. It's not kind, because when we have these positive projections, we don't attach to them. We just hold space for them to see whether that reality is a current truth. We also are allowing space for their humanness. We're allowing space for them to be an imperfect human being, which is very, very important in relationships. We're in an age, quickly, this is a bit of a tangent or a bit off topic. We're in an age of red flags where somebody can say the wrong thing in the wrong way and they're blocked and it's written off. And we're losing the ability to hold space for people to be imperfect humans. Nobody's fully healed. We're all wounded children who want love. But in having these positive ideas of who people potentially are, we're stepping into our friendly world. We're stepping out of this hostile world that trauma might have very naturally drawn us into, from a place of protection, from a place of that self-love, when our system wants to protect us. So own these projections as your own. Do not project them as an attachment or an expectation onto somebody. See it as potential, but also hold space and stay awake to the reality that's being shown to you. Then your self-esteem is actually going to be built, when it's going to strengthen, when you can see reality, respond to it, but know that there was nothing wrong about this this positive projection that you had on this person. Disappointment is attributed to our own expectations. So if we feel disappointed by where someone's at, that it's in contrast to this positive projection, we're just being shown that we had an expectation that that's what they were. And it shows us that we're not actually holding this space to see the reality in front of us. So all of these signals, all of these experiences that come to us based off seeing the best version of people, is their signals, their information for us to move closer to a respect for ourselves, to an honoring of others and where they are. And I think that's all I wanted to say on this topic. If you have any questions, thoughts, or if anything didn't make sense, leave a comment. I love to interact with you guys. And if you have any stories that you want to share, just send me an email. I'm open to having a chat. I'm sending you so much love. Keep your heart open. Keep seeing the best in the world. It's how, oh my goodness, we are releasing this tension that past experiences might have wanted to give us, that the world is scary, the world is out to get us, the world is you know, yeah, it's just trying to traumatize us. It's absolutely not true. But also holding space for the reality to be shown and knowing that we have the power and strength within ourselves to respond to the reality that's in front of us so that we can keep these open channels, keep these open hearts, and keep seeing the best in people.